at the Meri Atelier, and I have been teaching myself how to tat. Yeah. So this is an unlisted video, and then I'll review everything, and if I like it, I will go ahead and publish it. I'm going to do another project. I'm really excited about this one. This is a February project. So let's set myself up here and see what's going to happen. And looks like I need to aim my camera down a little. And I'm zoomed way in because I'm going to be doing some tatting, and I want you to see it. So this is the book that I've started learning out of. I will put some links to another channel that I'm looking at that helps me understand the steps. I'm a learner. I hope that by doing this, I'm inspiring some of you to try some new things. Pick up a new project, and it doesn't necessarily have to be tatting, but if you want to learn tatting, come along with me on my journey. This is, like I said, I'm a beginner. I've already done some projects. I'll show those a little later. But let's just jump into what I want to do. And the first part of it will be a review. This book is Learn Needle Tatting Step by Step with Barbara Foster. And it is available online. You can get it at Amazon. I happen to get mine in retail. So I'm going to do 3 rings here and join them together. So I'll need about 3 yards, and I'm going to cut it off of the ball. So 1, and I'm just kind of doing a guesstimate here, 2, and 3. That's plenty. And look, I'm using red yarn. It's a dark red yarn. I think my camera shows it a little brighter than it is, but red for February. And you thread one end of the needle, and I'm using the number 3 needle tatting. I will put a link to the needles that I got off of Amazon too. Let me thread this. I'm using Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, and it is size 10. I have to get it over here with the white so I can see the eye of the needle. There we go. So, and leave, in this case, you can leave a smaller tail, like a 3-inch. So, well, I might leave a larger one because I am going to use it to tie off, and you'll see that. And then on the other end, just let this form a sort of a loop. Just let it rest on your desk. It'll get shorter as you work. And here's the other end. Let's see if I can't tip my camera just a bit more. There we go. Did that help any? Yeah. Okay, and leave a tail here too, because we are going to tie this off. And I've got some glue on my thumb. I was using art glitter glue and got some on my fingers here. Okay, so just start out doing your first 3 double stitches, and I do a 4th one when I make the first picot. So just kind of hold your thread in between your thumb and your first finger, and forgive I've been arting this morning, so that's an ink underneath my fingernail there. Sorry about that. So do your double stitch, come back here and go under this thread like that. That's one double stitch. You've seen me do this before. And yes, your thread will tend to want to tangle up until you get a shorter thread, just as like you were bookbinding, kind of shake it free, and you'll work those out as you go. So we want if you can get a hold of that tail and kind of hold him. Let me get a hold of him here. Hold that tail underneath with your needle there. That will keep it from getting mixed up with your tatting thread. You're going to tat off of the thread that's threaded into the eye of the needle, which I promptly unthreaded, but we'll thread it when I get ready to do the ring. All right, so we've got one double stitch. Remember, you come around like this, put your needle, wrap your thread over your index finger, put your needle underneath and make a loop and pull it on your needle. That's the first leg of your double stitch. And for the second leg, you come under your index finger and over, and then you come under the thread on your index finger, and that forms your second double stitch. So I'm going to go through these fairly fast. That's the third one. And now I'm going to start the picot. I'm going to make the first leg for my loop stitch, and then I'm going to do the loop about a 1/2 inch, and I use my index finger. Remember, use your index finger as a stopper, and do the first leg. Don't let it fall down to the other stitches. Use your index finger to stop that little stitch from falling down. Then do the second leg like that, and then close up your picot, which forms a little loop. And then you do 3 more. And you're going to close these up. So try to get things off of your desk or your threads will get all tangled up in it. Sorry about that. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And now you want to make your second picot. On these rings, you have 3 picots. You have a beginning one, the middle one, and the third one. The middle one is the second one that I'm doing now. And close up your loop. Do 3 more double stitches. 1, 2, 3, and we're ready for the last picot. If I can't get this white under it, you can see it a little better. There's 2 picots on there. I'm ready to do the third one, which is the last one. There we go, close it up. So I've got 3 picots on there. I have to do 3 more double stitches. One, 2, and 3. Now, when I was shaking out those tangles, I unthreaded my needle. Let's thread my needle back again. Get rid of any tangles that you might have in there. And I find if I don't pull on it, if I kind of shake it out like that, it gets rid of it. Because they tangle up just by, you know, the thread just kind of loops together. I might have to pull this one out. Let me pull out this tangle. He did get in there, didn't he? You don't want to pull it tight. You want to pull it apart, but don't pull it tight. when you get into a mess like this. And I'm leaving this in. I'm not going to edit this out because, you know, I want you to see how I handle it. So it's out. So, and then if you kind of take your thread and start at your beginning of your needle here, where the thread starts, and kind of pull it between your fingers, and that will work out some of the twists that get in your thread as you're working. And this is 3 yards. The most you probably want to cut off of your skein is 5 yards. 5 yards is a lot to work with off of the ball. Now let me thread this needle again. See if I can thread it in there. There we go. Now, this is perfect. Let's get this thread off. And see, you don't want to hook on your sleeves, and anything that thread can grab onto, it will. We're going to make the ring now, and I kind of try to get my thread that's coming to at the top of my double stitches separated from my tail that's on the bottom of the double stitches. Kind of keep those apart. Sometimes I just try to put that tail thread in my hand. I'm still working with the best way to do this. And I kind of hold on to my needle between my third finger and my ring finger. And then you won't see it, but it starts to form a ring. And you just want to pull your thread through. And while you're doing that, try to keep this thread and this thread separate, and it will, as you keep this thread between these fingers, it will, if any tangles happen, they'll happen right here, and you can catch them before it gets onto your, see, I can catch it before it gets close to my double thread. And this is just me, what things that I've learned. See, it caught it there, and it'll catch on to little stray threads if you have other stuff on your desk. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just passing along things that I've learned, and I may change my learning as I learn something new, you know, as I learn new things. Okay, it's starting to form the ring, and I've got the tail here, and I've also learned if you just let it do its thing, let it, as you pull on it, kind of get rid of any stray stuff. As you pull on it, it'll form its ring. And just let it, see, it's starting to form it here. Let me pull it tight. And there is my ring with my 3 picots. All right, now I'm going to take my tail, and I've shown this before too. I like to take my tail on the first ring, the tail thread and the needle thread, and make a little knot at the bottom of that ring. That just helps secure it. You can only do it on your first ring here because your tail thread doesn't travel to the other rings. All right, now we want to do 2 more rings, and I'm not going to talk through it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, except for I will say, let me get this white out of the way here. I will say when you start, try to get a 1/4 inch space, a 1/2 inch space in there. I'm still working with that too. Sometimes it gets longer, and I pull it out and do it again. And let me turn this around. So I just kind of grab it between my index finger and my thumb and do that. The first double stitch is always the hardest for me here, but I think I got a pretty good space in there. All right, we're going to work off of the needle thread and kind of get your tail thread tucked in your hand in there. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and work. I need 2 more double stitches. So there's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to join it to the first ring through that last picot of the first ring. And just tuck your needle in the little picot, wrap your needle thread around your needle, and just kind of gently pull that thread through onto your needle. And then you can go do 3 more double stitches. One, 2, 3. There's 3 on there. Sometimes I put a 4th one on there if I don't think there's enough space, but I think there's enough space there. So now I'm going to do my picot. Just use your index finger. I said I wasn't going to talk through it, but I'm talking through it. So that's the second picot, and you need 3 more. Oh, I got 3 on there. If you want to take your, you need to, like I was starting to put in an extra stitch here. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and finish that. But if you want to take off a stitch, push your stitches way up to the point and then just pull that stitch off. This is the first leg. Just pull it right off. Don't let the others go off, and it will straighten itself out. But I do think I want another stitch on there. All right. So I'm going to make my last picot here. We're only going to do one set of 3. All right. So there's a picot, 1 set of 3 rings. All right. Now I'm ready to close up this ring. I've got my first picot is a join there. My second picot is there. My third one is there. So don't let my needle get unthreaded. And tuck this over in here. Push your threads down to the base of the needle. I like to hold it right like this. And it gets easier after your needle comes through your hand. And keep your threads untangled. I've got a thread here and a thread here, needle thread. So you just kind of pull on it and see, this could cause a tangle here, but it catches it right in there. And I can catch it and pull it straight. And your thread will want to twist naturally as you go in and out with your needle. It forms its own little twist. Your thread does. Okay, we're getting ready to close it up here. And at this point, I just kind of let my rings find their way. You'll think, oh, I'm messing it up, but just kind of keep gently pulling on it. Let's get the white under it again. And you might want to just kind of gently pull on it, and you'll see that it's starting to form its ring there. And just kind of let it go its way. Pull it tight. And there's the second ring. Get that tail out of the way. There's the second ring. Now I do take my needle, and I really wouldn't have to for what I'm making because I'm going to be knotting it anyway, but it's kind of, I think, good practice to come back under the first double stitch and under the last double stitch and make a little secure stitch in there to tighten the ring up. I don't know if that's a requirement, but so I'm just kind of pulling it. And see, it'll catch. Looks like it caught onto a stray thread down here. It'll catch on to anything it can, this thread. And I noticed that when I'm buying books too, that the threads are, it's almost like a magnet. So just kind of pull it through this way. Yeah. Pull it through. Pull it through this way. There we go. And that just kind of secures that bottom of the second ring. And we got the tail here at the bottom of the first ring. Now we're ready to do the last ring. I'm only want 3 on this project. And so I have my thread coming on from this direction, and I'm holding the rings and over on this in my right hand, and the needle. But I want the thread, the thread is coming from my left hand here. So you want kind of let your stitches hang down, and you want, again, about a ½ inch approximately. I go a little shorter because by the time I get my double stitch on there, I add more thread. My fat fingers, I think, do that. Okay. So there we go. I got about a ½ inch in there. About a ½ inch. Might be a little longer than that, but all right. So now I need 2 more double stitches. And then I'm going to join my third ring to my, don't want to join it to that one. I want to join it to my second ring. So I join it in here. And again, put your needle under the Picasso and your needle thread over the needle, and then just gently, you have to see it. It's kind of hard for me to see it under the camera here, but just gently pull it through. Come on, there we go. Pull it through the Picasso and let it sit on the ring, the little loop. And now you're ready to do 3 more double stitches. So 1, let's get this out of the way again. 1, 2, 3. So this was my first Picasso of the third ring. So now I need to make the second one. Working off of the needle thread, not the tail. Sometimes I have grabbed the tail thread before. Last time I did it, I caught myself and I was able to get it off my needle. But once you make your ring, once you pull that thread through, it's not the easiest thing to undo all your stitches if you make a mistake. Might as well just start over. Okay, hold on here. One, 2, 3. All right, now I just need my last Picasso. Want to leave a space there. Okay, keep your finger as a stopper. And there we go. And then 3 more double stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're ready to form the last ring. We've got 3 picots on there, 2 loops and 1 join. So I kind of just hold it like that, make sure my needle threads are separated, and pull it through. And it gets easier to work with as the thread gets shorter. Alrighty. And again, at this point, I just kind of let the loop find its way. It will kind of, looks like it'll twist on you, but just gently keep pulling it. And let's put the white under there again. See, you think, oh, it's going to mess up, but it will. If you keep pulling on the needle thread, it will form its, and your tail thread will want to get in there where he doesn't belong. Just kind of get him out of there. Where is he? He's over here. Let's pull him out. And your picots will show up. There's one and there's one, and the other one is a join, and just kind of pull it tight. And let's see what I have here. This picot is hiding from me. Let's get him out. There he is. And there's one here. These are the top picots. One here, and one here. And then there's this side picot over here and a side one there. And then these 2 join. And I really got that join tight, don't I? Which doesn't matter. All right, now what we want to do, let's secure it here. Let's go under the first double stitch and under the third and kind of stitch them together. There we go. Now what I want to do is I have my 3 rings here, a little piece in there, a little thread in there. I want to join the bottom of the 3rd ring to the bottom of the 1st ring, like this. So let's just find it here. So I'm going to go right into here. You can tell that this is the bottom because there's my tail right there. So I'm just going to stitch these 2 together. And do it however you're comfortable. Sometimes I have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it, but Now I'm going to come back in and do another stitch in here. We're joining these two, and I'm not joining them. I'm joining them at the bottom of the rings. I'm not joining them at a Picasso. I'm closing this up into like a little triangle type thing. And keep your threads separated as much as you can. I'd like to say the shorter you get, the less it twists, but that's just not true with some of this thread. Yeah, it's the in and out and the moving. It's the thread twists naturally as you use it. There we go. Now, you can, to get rid of some of the twists, like I said, you can just completely take it off the needle and just pull on it this way. Start at the base of your project and just hold it between your thumb and your index finger and that will help get rid of some of that twist. Maybe not all of it, but just kind of smooth it out. That works for me sometimes. All right, so I have my little piece here, and I'm going to thread my needle up again. Or maybe I'll thread my needle on the tail thread because he wants to get in the way. So let's take care of him. So I'm going to thread my tail off of my project in here. See the eye of the needle here. I'm using size 10 Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, and it's splaying on me. It's been used a lot. Now let's cut it. See, it's by splaying, I mean the 3 threads. The thread is untwisting. It's got 3 threads twisted together. Let's cut it. And see if that helps. There we go. Now, oh, and this is a perfect example too. See, I've got a short thread. I'm going to undo my needle again. If you got a big long needle and a short thread, put your needle through. And in this case, I want that thread to go through one of these double the stitches through here. So I'm going to thread my needle through the double stitches there, and you kind of have to work them in, and we'll call this the back of the piece because it does form a little chamber in there. But just push that down toward the eye of the needle, and now rethread your needle. I like a longer tail, but it likes to get in the way when I'm tatting. There we go. Now just pull that through the chamber there of those double stitches. See, right in there. And just pull it through. And then you can clip it off. You're kind of hiding your thread is what you're doing. And let's clip it off of here. Get rid of that. Now let's do the same with the needle thread. And I think this is my back here. And you can make this thread shorter if you so desire. It's a little bit easier to work with. And we'll save this for another project. maybe another tat. And in this case, my thread is long enough for my needle, so let's just go and thread this up. Yeah, you'll get used to threading needles. No, I have to get it up to my face. Get it up to my nose. All right, now we're going to hide this thread. Where? In here, I think. Let's go right in here. In a loop of the double stitches. And you'll get a sense of where you want to put this. In the case of this project, it really, for me, it doesn't matter. All right, and just pull it through that way. And clip it off. And we can put my needle out of the way. And I have a little heart. My Picasso, some of them are longer than the other ones, but let's see if we can stretch this out a little. There we go. It's a little heart. It's a little heart for February. And so what I've been doing is taking a bobby pin here, and I take the flat side of my bobby pin. This side, the kick is on the flat side. On the part that's on the back, it's got a little bump. I don't do the side with the bump in the middle. I do the side with the kick. So let's turn it that way and get out my art glitter glue. And what I'm going to do is take a strip of this bling. You can get this at the dollar store. And I'm going to glue right down here if I can. You don't want to glue your bobby pin shut, but just put some little dots on there. It'll be all right. And then take your bling and get it right side up. I wrestle with these. Sometimes they're so small and I've got such big hands. And put it right on here. Well, that went on good. And kind of press it in. And you can see when it's resting on top, because when you turn your bobby pin to the side, you can see it's resting on top of the bobby pin. So right like that. And then take your tat, which is a little heart. I'm going to call this the back. And we're going to put it on top here. We're not going to stitch it on. We're going to glue it on. Right like, let me turn it around. Right like that. And kind of center it. And I've got another little bobby pin embellishment. Let me hold it up so you guys can see it. Got another little bobby pin embellishment. Now I'm going to let that one dry. And let's put my pin back in my art glitter glue. It's like threading the eye of the needle here. There we go. And I always kind of move it up and down to make sure the chamber's clear. We don't need this anymore, but let me show you. I've made 2, 4, 6, 8 here. 2, 4, 6, 8. And this is my 9th one. And I just put them on here to dry. I got a piece of wax paper. Let's take this one off. And just to show you that, and also put them on here, and you make sure that your bobby pin isn't glued together. So I've made 8 of them here, 9 of them. This is my 9th one. And this is the black bling here. I got, it's black and silver. The bling is black and silver. And this is the black, but I don't mind. And those will go in my February art journal here. We'll just put it right here. Now you could take and glue a heart on the back. I'm not going to, or you could put some bling in the little centers there, but I'm going to leave them like this for now. This is a wolf that I'm doing for Mina, her envelope drawing. Let me zoom out a little here. I'm drawing that wolf for Mina. I'll finish it up tomorrow morning. But let's just say you want to keep it in here. There you go. So these I'm all going to use on in my February desk journal, which this is here. So I have some more. This is my tat journal, and I put this wax paper in there just because I thought I'd need it in there. And you can see I've been practicing. This is a really long one, green one. Here's a little one. I'm going to put some of these. I have this little tin that I'm keeping tats in if I want to put them on my artwork, or if I'm making a tag or something. Let me get this off. So I'm going to put this one. This one I made a little bow at the bottom of it. Maybe I'll keep that one out. This is my oopsie page here. Let's see what I have here. I have some white rings. And let's see, I think I have an oopsie in here, but this one can go in there. This, what I want to do is put this down the shank of a bobby pin, but I think I made it too wide. I'm going to put that in there. I have some blue little hearts that I made like I made today. And I've got some little red double stitches. We'll put those in there. Got an extra little heart and another little tat. And let's see what else I have over here. Another little ring. So if I ever want something on my artwork, I can just reach in here. Eventually it'll get filled. Yeah. All right. So what I want to do here, let me close this up. I want to put some, this is an oopsie page. I've got some oopsies to put in here, but I don't think any of these are oopsies. And you can see I started over here with my learning the double stitch. And these are oopsies. This is just kind of using it with an image. Here I've learned how to do the Picassos and the rings. And here's my first, where I did 6 rings together. I was so proud of that. And that was using about 5 yards of string, and that's a little hard to handle all of that. And here's where I'm just showing my rings and my joins. Here I just glued this together. These were separate rings. I just glued them in a triangle. And here are some longer ones that I'm pretty proud of. I'm showing how here it curves a little if you get different lengths in there. It will form its curve. But if you keep these about the same length, you can have straight lines. And here's where I did 12. I was really proud of doing that, 11 or 12. So I'm going to put this one here, the little bow, and here's where I'm doing some hearts. So I'm practicing some hearts here. Hearts for February. So let's just kind of arrange them in here. And this is just a little blue one. I'll put that one down there. And you could, you know, start making your own little design here if you wanted. You know, put this around a little inchy square. That would be fine, but I'm just going to say hearts here. Maybe I'll put this in that box. And let's clip the thread here. My scissors are getting dull. They don't cut threads too well. And boy, that thread just loves to hook onto anything it can. Look at that. All right. Let's get that art glitter glue out again. Renee, bless her heart, sent me some more art glitter glue. I've got 3 large bottles of it now. So let's put this one. This ring, I tied a little bow down onto it. I'm so proud of that. Let's put it on the thread itself. I'll put that in there. And I Picasso up a little if I can. And I should take one of those bobby pins and put in here. Maybe I will. I gave away all my other bobby pins that I made. I was just tying them onto the top of a bobby pin, but I like these to form hearts right on the bobby pin. Let's just put them down like that. Maybe put my red one over here. He doesn't show up too well. And of course, this is just documenting my tatting journey here. So I'll be doing my own little projects, and I'll eventually, you do enough of these rings and Picassos, and you'll eventually get good enough to do pretty little doilies and stuff. I'm not really into making doilies right away. All right, now I've got this green one. Well, how am I going to put that? I could almost put this one in a circle. It's large enough. Let's see. Yeah. Hair on there. I could put this one in a circle. Close it up. Let's do that. Let's just make a, well, you know, I could punch a 2-inch circle, but no, let's do it this way. Figure out how I want to do it. I don't want that one hanging out. Let's put it right in here. Put a piece of glue there. Should put it on the back. And kind of tack this down. like that. Oops, I moved it. Let's do these. And do I want to clip these off? Right now, I'm just going to let them hang. There. There we go. Now, let's take one of these bobby pins. Let's take one that has the glitter on it off here. And we'll put one of those bobby pins in here. Let's put it up here. Right like that. Or I could put it over here. Maybe put something underneath of it. So I'm really proud of these. I think these turned out neat. Little heart buttons. Well, this one didn't get glued down, did it? Oh, let's glue it down. A little heart. Really, it should go this way. There. There we go. And as I learn to make more things, I'll be putting them in my little book here. And let me put my glue away. So I'm going to close up this book, my journal, and I'm going to take these off and put them here for my thumbnail. Maybe I'll just make a half circle here. And I'll be using these. I'll be using these in my February art journal. Let's see, let's switch this one here like that. Switch this one. No. Like that. And let's put this little heart tab in the center. Okay, thank you for watching. And as I said, I'm learning. I'm a beginner in tatting. I'm learning a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. And I hope by me doing these videos that I inspire some of you to pick up some thread and a tatting needle and work along with me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.